I'm going to try out this walk and talk thing. There's a lot of traffic, so I don't know if you'll hear me okay. I also have this microphone strapped onto my shirt. But I was thinking, I've never really explained to anyone how I got where I am now. You know, where could I start? I could go clear back to when I was 5 years old, when the first traumatic thing happened to me that set me on my current path. But that's kind of crazy. I won't go back that far. Why am I trying to retire in a foreign country and not in the United States? I've had several jobs. I've had several 401k accounts through the years. And as luck would have it, they've all been taken and used for different things. Let's go back to the mid-1980s. I had a job working for a company called Deseret Generation and Transmission Cooperative. I was the communications specialist. I did newsletters and annual reports and videos. I did all kinds of things for them. After several years there, I just felt like I was spinning my wheels and couldn't think of anything new. I was just recycling the old ideas all the time. So I quit my job. I took my 401k money out and I moved to Reno. There was a lady there who was doing desktop publishing as a business, and she thought maybe we could go into business together. So with my 401k money, I bought a new computer, a big hard drive, and a fancy printer. And back then, each of those components was like $2,000. So I used a lot of money. So anyway, I pulled all my money out of the 401k and I bought all this computer equipment and moved to Reno. After a couple of months there, this lady called the police and told them that I had stolen all her equipment and she wanted it back. And so luckily I'd kept all my receipts, and so when they came I could show them the receipts for all the equipment. I still had the original boxes that all came in. But needless to say, I was not anxious about working with that lady anymore. So without a job, I went and started working for Reno Air in the call center. It didn't pay very much, but it was something different. And with my desktop publishing background and experience, I started putting together a newsletter for the employees at the call center. One of my features was called the Shoestring Traveler, where I would travel to different locations that the airline flew, and I would tell them how to travel to those places and how to get around and how much it would cost, and how you can go and do like a one-day up and back trip so you don't have to spend a lot of money. Well, that turned into a newsletter for the entire company pretty soon. So I was traveling to the call center in Las Vegas as well, and covering events for the airline. After the airline celebrated its 5th anniversary as an airline, they were bought out by American. and we all lost our jobs. And so I didn't really have a 401k there that was worth anything. And then I went to work for a company called Medic Alert Foundation, which makes these little bracelets and things that say, you know, if you have a medical condition and they find you lying on the side of the road or something, they will know what your conditions are and how they can help you so you don't die. I did that for 6 months, but the company wasted so much money. It was supposed to be a charity. It was a charitable foundation, but they wasted so much money on luxuries for their board members, and their executives made so much money. So I quit after 6 months. I felt like I was being a hypocrite. Well, while I was in Reno, I got married and moved back to Utah and worked for Continental Airlines in their call center in Salt Lake City. I moved to Houston eventually to do the newsletter for the company, the employee newsletter, and I got divorced. I worked at Continental for about 7 years, but just shy of when I would qualify for retirement, I lost my job there. I pulled my 401k money out again. I had gotten married again to a Chinese lady, right? Anyway, I gave her my 401k money and she sent it to China. I thought I was going to go live with her in China when I retired. She got in trouble running a massage business, and the police had an undercover operation, and someone there got caught doing something they shouldn't. So she got arrested. I got arrested because I helped her put an ad in the newspaper. So anyway, I fought that. But she ran back to China, and my 401k money there disappeared. Several, $15,000. After losing my job and my money in Houston, I moved back to Salt Lake City. I lived with my daughter for a couple of years, but it came to the point where she couldn't have me in her place anymore because there was something about the rent, too many people, I wasn't on the lease. Anyway, I had to move out. I went to live with my mother, who was in her 90s. Well, she was in her late 80s at the time. And as it turned out, I was her caregiver. I started watching videos about moving to Thailand, and I thought, wow, this is pretty good. Because I realized I wouldn't have enough money to retire in the United States just with my Social Security. That's all I had left. So I started exploring the idea of moving to Thailand. I saved as much money as I could. Whoa. Sometimes these monkeys aren't very happy and nice to each other. Anyway, I saved as much money as I could. I moved to Thailand at one point, and my daughter was left in Utah taking care of my mother. I was in Thailand for about a month and a half, I guess, and I ended up going back because my hip gave out on me and I couldn't walk anymore. I was in great pain. So I went back to the U.S. and again resumed taking care of my mother, and also was able to get a hip replacement at the Veterans Administration Medical Center in Salt Lake City. Thankfully, I had hurt my back when I was in the Air Force, and so they covered that. My mother died late July 2018. I had recovered. I had the operation in October 2018, and by May 2019 I was ready, and I came to Thailand again. I had been writing online to someone I had met in a, I think it was Thai Friendly, one of those dating sites. So I came to Thailand, went to Pattaya for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I came down here to Songkhla. I have been here now for almost 10 months. And I have to go back to Utah again at about the middle of April. My retirement, I thought I wasn't going to be able to stay here because I didn't have enough money and because I needed to have all this stuff to get my visa extension. When I went down to Kuala Lumpur, when I was coming back through the airport, surprisingly they stamped my visa for another year, or my passport for another year. So I could have stayed, but I didn't know that. I have an airline ticket to America in April, and so I'm going to go back. Anyway, I hope you understand a little better now. Take care. I'll talk to you later.